As Obi-Wan Kenobi broadly stated, these aren't the BMWs you're searching for. Okay, Obi-Wan said droids, alluding to the criminals he was harboring from Imperial stormtroopers. Like those stormtroopers, we're searching for something, as well, BMW's once sweet driving games cars. The automaker, as Kenobi with his Force-empowered confusion, is deleting its storied past with a rush of the hand and a dominance of Solace disapproved and tech-loaded extravagance autos. The brand's iPerformance module crossbreds sit at the profound end of this nexus, and, not at all like C-3PO and R2-D2, they truly aren't what we're after. In consummate matchup with BMW's progress far from an emphasis on lover-satisfying autos, the most fulfilling of its iPerformance models additionally is one of the biggest and heaviest, the 740e explored here. We are not able to shoot the auto we tried for this survey, so our photographs demonstrate an Euro-spec 740e. In the United States we just get the 740e in long wheelbase shape. Hence the diverse name. That obvious logical inconsistency is covered up by this 7-arrangement vehicle's 322 strength and 369 pounds-to-foot of torque, tops among its gas-electric kin. Inquisitively, those figures are higher than the far heavier X5 xDrive 40es, which gets 308 pull yet utilizes the same 111 horsepower electric engine sandwiched between its indistinguishable 8-speed programmed transmission and gas motor, and also the same 9.2 kWh lithium particle battery pack. Actually, every iPerformance module shares that segment set. Put something aside for the motor. The 330e and the 530e utilize 180 horsepower gas inline 4s and offer a 248 horsepower consolidated pull rating. The X5's motor is evaluated for 240 strength, while the 740e's makes 255. Weighing about 600 pounds, not exactly the X5 half-breed, the 740e is an entire second snappier to 60 miles per hour. Its 5.2-second run likewise is quite recently not as much as a moment fleeter than the 260 pounds lighter 530e xDrive as of late tried, and 0.6 second in front of the 721 pounds lighter 330e. Where the hybridized 3 and 5 arrangement models feel punchy off the line just to lose steam at higher paces, the 740e pulls firmly constantly. The additional zip accompanies no perceptible impact on the 7's hybridness, with the EPA doling out at a similar 14-mile electric just driving reaches the 330e and the X5 xDrive 40e, the 530e's territory beats it by 1 mile. For the EPA, the 740e is apparently useful for 64 miles per gallon, comparable, consolidated, short of the 71 doled out to the 330e and the 530e's 67, yet beating the X5 xDrive 40e's 56. Like those three iPerformance models, in our testing the 740e neglected to enter an indistinguishable system from the EPA's mileage gauges. We saw 28 in blended driving, 1 short of the 330e and 2 short of the 530e, however 7 superior to the half-and-half X5. The EPA's gauge may be achievable in the event that you took short, sub-20-mile trips and religiously charged the battery between ventures. We rather went through the accessible electric just range and depended on half-and-half mode for whatever remains of our drives, connecting the auto to just after touching base back at the workplace charger the following day. As per BMW, charging on a 240-volt source takes only under 3 hours and under 7 utilizing a standard divider outlet. In our 75-mile-per-hour roadway efficiency test, the all-wheel drive 740e returned 35 miles per gallon, 5 more prominent than a fuel 6-chamber controlled, race drive 740i's 30 miles per gallon. The partially littler Cadillac CT6 module half-and-half scored 34 miles per gallon on our roadway test. Coordinated this current 740e's 0 to 60 mile per hour increasing speed, and brags 31 miles of electric just range. Other than the 740e's battery involving 3 cubic feet of the 7's as of now unassuming for its class trunk space, a littler fuel tank, by 8.5 gallons, that breaking points add up to cruising range, and an observable progress amongst regenerative and erosion braking when grinding to a halt, drivers of this BMW give up little to pick up the potential for sans gas short drives. The electric engine's area between the motor and the transmission implies it goes through similar apparatuses, loaning the powertrain a characteristic sensation in both half-and-half and electric just modes. Numerous half-breeds use ceaselessly factor-programmed transmissions that take out the ventured speeding up, first apparatus to second rigging etc. commonplace to most drivers. Aside from the 4-barrel motors mooing like a cow with a stub foot when running hard, the experience is calm and smooth. Being a cutting-edge BMW, the 7-arrangement crossbreed brags driving modes aplenty. The Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus, Adaptive, and Eco Pro settings exist nearby a trio of modes that independently deal with the 740e's electric power. In Maxi Drive, gave the battery has some charge, the auto runs exclusively on power until the point when the driver presses the quickening agent pedal to the floor, surpasses 87 miles per hour, or the battery comes up short on juice. In those cases, the gas motor turns on, and the 740e changes over to Auto e-drive and acts as a crossover, deciding when to run the auto on power alone or a mix of fuel and electric power. For circumstances where you need to spare some battery limit with respect to later or energize the pack progressing to a predefined level, there's battery control mode. Obviously, utilizing the gas motor to charge the battery brings about a dunk in mileage that a possible 14 miles of electric just driving won't counterbalance. It's best to utilize this component when you wind up in a city that requires or supports of just driving downtown, the dominant part of which are in Europe. The different modes are anything but difficult to monitor on account of the computerized gauge group's unmistakable, educational designs. Not at all like numerous crossover producers, BMW incorporates both fuel and battery charge meters that offer conventional dial designs, making them a snap to peruse initially. Think of it as a reward that the 740e drives modestly, being pleasantly consistent in comfort mode and pretty much flawless in sport. Maybe in light of the fact that it's so expansive in the first place and its half-breed powertrain is sufficiently effective, the 740e's additional weight goes unnoticed. Not at all like in the cumbersome, overwhelming feeling 330e and 530e. Regardless, it isn't precisely enjoyable to drive, and surely no place close as sharp as Cadillac's CT6. However, as befits a limo of this sort, it slodges quiet at speed. Too terrible. The 740e, the best of BMW's iPerformance module half and halves, is so costly. Its $90,095 base cost is $4,600 over that of an all-wheel drive 740i, and the Cadillac CT6 module does likewise work better for $14,000 less. Be that as it may, the module CT6 is accessible just with race-wheel drive. Furthermore, the 6-barrel 740i, which surrenders to torque to this half-bred however is significantly lighter, still is very proficient for such a major auto and hits 60 miles per hour in a strong 4.8 seconds. Notwithstanding what you contrast the 740e with. In any case, an inquiry waits: is it the expansive extravagance vehicle that purchasers are searching for? In a fragment that praises maximums and creating an impression over spending plan and ecologically benevolent particulars, we don't think the 740e pegs the meter on either measure.